want to welcome everybody. My name is Chris Shelton, and thank you once again for joining us at the Qi Club. You know, what's really interesting about tonight is tonight it happens to be the Lunar New Year as well, too. Congratulations for making it through the Dragon Year. I don't know how it was for you guys, but I know for us it's a pretty frenetic year. Like, it was pretty intense. The dragon and snake actually paired together. They're considered mystical animals. But when we look at animals that work well together, so the snake year works well with the ox and the rooster as well. So those are very compatible animal signs. And what's interesting is that when the Chinese Zodiac was first developed, it wasn't called animal. It wasn't based upon the animals. And the interesting thing about Chinese philosophy, and this goes back to yin and yang theory as well too, is that everything is relative. So even though we're talking about a snake year, we're talking about the qualities of the snake, not the actual physical animal itself, the qualities of the snake. So originally what happened was that Chinese New Year's, or the Lunar New Year, came about because they would base it upon what is referred to as the 12 earthly branches and the 10 heavenly stems. So it goes in a 12-year cycle, and so the Lunar New Year starts with the rat year. That's how it was before. And if you studied in the book here, Chris Shelton's Easy Guide to Emotional Well-Being, when you get into the section on 5-element theory, I talk a little bit also about the 10 heavenly stems and the 12 earthly branches. What that means is that we have the 5 elements: water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. But then when we get into the 10 heavenly stems, then that's yin and yang aspect of each of those elements. So for example, it'd be yin wood, yang wood, yin fire, yang fire. When you look at, for this year, it's a snake year, but it's a yin wood year, which means that even though wood has the tendency, governs the gallbladder and the liver, and has the tendency to be rigid, it's fall back, emotion that we have to watch out for this year is rage and anger, getting into tension and arguments with people. In fact, that's one of the guidance for the snake year, is that after coming off this intense dragon year, we got to be mindful and not get caught up in situations that are too stressful. So situations that seem too stressful, take a step back, pause, and say to yourself, is this really something that I need to be engaging in? Okay, so it's a yin wood year. The 12 earthly branches, there we go. Here's the 12 earthly branches. This is how the years used to be titled or named. It wasn't based on animals. But they say that over 1,000 years ago, what happened was that Buddha summoned the animals in nature, and based upon their characteristics, then he assigned those animals to the various years. And that's how we ended up with the 12 animal zodiac, or the 12-year cycle. The snake year, you got to be mindful too that it can be associated with plots, counterplots, scandal, and corruption. So be mindful as this mystical animal scurries throughout the year this year. On the positive side, a snake is actually considered good luck, good fortune. So in Chinese philosophy, they believe that if a snake came into your house, that was actually a good sign. It was actually good luck, and that you were not to kill the snake. So better to release the snake outside as opposed to kill the snake, because the snake coming into the house actually brought good fortune to the family for that year. So that's the positive thing about the snake year. Economically, what we should see is that economics should improve as we get into the snake year as well too. Socially, we should see that more intention needs to be placed upon the environment, on things that could help the environment grow and sustain itself. This is a year of moderation and slowing down. The main advice as well too is that to do your homework when it comes to starting any new ventures. Don't just jump into things this year, to really do your homework, because this is where the turmoil could actually come into play. Before diving into a project, and maybe even you started the project during the dragon year, still be mindful as to what's going on. And if there seems to be obstruction or tension, let's instead of pushing forward, take a step back, and let's see where that obstruction is, and then how we could work around it. Okay, so again, it's a yin wood year. So wood relates to the wood element, which is our liver and our gallbladder. Yin is soft, it's a soft and feminine. So think of yin wood year almost like the flexible bamboo that moves in the breeze, right? Because it relates to that wood element. So we want to flow like that as well too, not get stuck in our own rigid thoughts, not getting stuck in rigid habit patterns or mind patterns, but being able to allow for the energy or the chi to flow through us in order to be able to harmonize and then go smoothly with the snake as it slithers along throughout this coming year. Gong Hei Fat Choi, happy Lunar New Year. Welcome in the year of the snake. It should be a better year this year as far as not as chaotic. And again, I just want to reiterate before we sign off is that because there is a wood element aspect, you just don't get caught up in toxic things, eating toxic foods, putting toxic things inside your body, and toxic relationships. Because that will further be exacerbated this year. So be mindful over that, okay? So anyways,
thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Great seeing you.